Hi guys, welcome to 5-Minute Fridays. 5-Minute Fridays are about an exchange of things that have happened over the past week, or stories, bits of information that happened in my life or that I came across, and I would like to share them with you so that they might help you in your world and what you are doing with your work and your personal life. This week, I want to ask you a question. Are you stressed? And if you are, what are you doing about it? How do you manage all of that stress? That question was asked to me earlier this week, and I replied with a very quick answer of, well, I work out and I get adequate sleep, the quality and quantity that I need to kind of insulate myself. As you know, I talk to audiences about that. And they shook their head and said, yeah, I know you do that and you work out, huh? Well, working out wasn't the thing that kind of shocked me, and I don't think it was what they were really thinking about or contemplating in that moment. They were just like, that's it, huh? That's all you do. Now, what brought this up is we were talking about all the things I have going on in my personal life, my business life, all the traveling and speaking and writing and marketing that I'm doing, very aggressive marketing campaigns and speaking schedule right now, and just a lot going on. And they said, how do you manage all of that stress? And again, I just gave the quick and dirty answer, I work out and take care of myself, that kind of thing. And as I drove home from this conversation, I started thinking about what do I really do? And is that really the trick? And the answer was no. And the workout helps me blow off steam. But my workouts are so much a part of my routine that they're not anything extra. They're not like I've had a stressor and I go in there and I blow off the steam. They're more in an advance of the stressor. They set me up for success during the day. So my workouts are there of like a prophylaxis dose of medicine, if there were such a thing, against stress. They do insulate me against stress because I do, after I leave a workout, have the capacity to handle a lot of what life and people like to throw at me. I do sleep. I try to sleep well. I try to get the adequate amount of duration and quality of sleep I need to, again, insulate me. And I think that's what I'm getting at. I don't really have, or on a regular basis, to deploy a lot of stress management technique, conventional stress management techniques, deep breathing. I need to go and take a walk, need to lock myself in a room, sequester myself away so I don't lose my shit, and come unglued at the seams over stress. I've never been really like that. That really was never my thing, to do those things. I know those things work. I talk about those things, and I would be lying to you if I said I've never done them. But on a routine basis, I don't really have to do that. And I'm not done anything special. I did not win the genetic lottery of this with this, and my life is not, as I've said, it is full of stress. It's not some just smooth sailing every day of the week type situation. But I think that's really what I do is I've gotten out in front of this over the years, and I've done so many things that have routinely stressed me and have caused me stress, and I've had to get through, that I'm literally just prepared to handle a lot of stressors. And I also think, and if many of you know the story of me putting my hand in the snake's cage, if not, I'll do a separate video on that. But that's kind of where it comes from. I was worried about what was going to happen with that snake, so I put my hand in the cage and let it bite me and go, well, that's the worst thing that's going to happen right there. And I think that's what I do with a lot of stressors. I kind of work my way through them in a systematic way. If this were to come up, this is what I would do. And just that exercise right there is enough for a lot of us. Buddhists do a meditation, strict ones, do a very strict meditation on dying. They actually prepare themselves to die. And a lot of times they even talk about they prepare themselves mentally for loved ones and friends and family to die. And the reason they do that is not so they can sit and wallow in that and like a pig in slop and mud. It's to prepare themselves for the day that very unfortunate, horrible situation will present itself. And I think back about something maybe not so heavy, my flying lessons. And a lot of times we would do things, put ourselves in a situation of danger, like put the plane in a stall. And you'd have to come out, get yourself out of that stall back to smooth, level, safe altitude of flying. And again, that's so that when it happens, you do that so routinely, and sometimes even off the schedule a little bit. You kind of get in a situation where my flight instructor would put me in that situation, me not knowing, and you're like, hey, plane stalling, you're going to fall out of the sky, you better fix that. But that right there is a really good example of I didn't even break a sweat. I did what I had to do to get the plane back to level, safe flying altitude and speed and direction and everything. And it really didn't faze me. I just reacted and did what I had to do to get the situation under control. And I think that's where the lesson is. I don't think we can handle every stressor like that, certainly. I think there's a case and a place for stress management techniques. But I think we need to look at not relying on those intermittent little Band-Aids, if you will, on stress. And we certainly can't control stress. So some of our stressors, we can't get to the root cause of them and grab the bull by the horns, if you will, and say, I'm gonna stop this. If you can, do it. If you can't, you gotta let it go and come up with another way. And I think one of the other ways to do this is thinking about building your grit and resilience to handle or live through, if you will, a bout of stress in your day or week or month or sometimes even your year. What are you doing to build that grit and resilience? It could be, as I've said in many of my talks, something as simple as taking a 5-minute cold shower every morning. That right before you step into that, there is this sweet spot. And I call it sweet spot. And it's really not a sweet spot. It's the most horrible spot of all. No, it's not in the water. That's not the horrible spot. The spot is right as you get close. And your body and your brain realize you are going into that cold water. Yes, it's about to happen. It is in that spot right there where your body and your brain try to get you to not do this. But when you push past it, is where the magic happens. And then, of course, staying in that cold shower for 5 minutes just even more solidifies that you are gritty and resilient. Yeah, something as simple as a 5-minute cold shower. Try it, because you'll be surprised. You'll do that at 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and a stressor will come at you later in the day, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of a sudden you'll do something with that stressor. You'll handle it, you'll put it someplace, you'll put it aside, you'll think your way through it for a couple minutes and go, it's not a big deal, put it over here now, get back to work, and you'll realize that you're calling on that same bit of grit and resilience against not going into the cold water from earlier in the day. Because you had a moment already where you were equipped and you felt like, no, I'm vulnerable. I'm naked, ready to go into a cold shower, and I'm just inches away from being under that cold water, and I pushed myself into it. And you realize that a lot of times that's where that little bit of strength to just push through that stressor, to just set it aside, to just power on a little more and get back into focused work. It is the same sort of space right before you step into that cold shower. Think about it, guys. If you have any questions, please email me at questions@ericherdman.com. That's questions@ericherdman.com. And this is the end of 5-Minute Fridays for this week. Until next week, make it a great week, and I'll see you right back here next Friday.